Hello everyone. Today I'm now going to take another example of subnetting for class B. So let's take an example like suppose we have an IP address of this form 171.71.0.0 with a subnet address mask, you can say 255.255.0.0, and the question says that you have to create two subnets with minimum 1020 hosts and one subnet with 508, let's say, you can say 510 also, 508 hosts, one subnet with, let's say, 100 hosts, and you don't have to waste any addresses in them. When I'm saying waste, it can be a waste of one or two addresses, but not more than that. Okay, so let me create a table first. Remember that we are now using a subnet of consists of address of class B, and class B is between 128 and your 192, or you can say 191 up to 91, and then from 92 the class C starts. So this number defines which class it is. If you are not sure of it, you can look at the subnet mask also. So if the subnet mask is 255.255, that means it's a class B. Okay, so now making a table, because we have a address of almost, you can say, 16 subnet bits free for us. So I'm taking a table with, let's say, so table. So I want two columns, a number of columns are 16. Let's say take 17, some for x, something for x, and two rows. So it is of this form. So I start from here, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024. So it's double of the previous number. So 4096. And then if you double it, it will be something 9192 if I'm not wrong. 96 double is this one, 192. So I think it's 8192. Then you take a double of this. So it will be 4, then 18, then 3, and then 16. So it's 1, and then you take a double of this, so it will be 32, 8, 16, 7. I don't know how you'll do, but I do in a different ways. I just multiply with 2. So these are the decimal numbers, you can say. Decimal number. Just say number. It's not coming in there. Now, what first subnet require? The first subnet require is 1020 hosts. So we have total 16 bits which can be used as hosts, or we can use them for subnetting also. So depending upon the requirement of hosts by us, we will change our subnetting bits and the host bits. So here, if I need to accommodate 1020 hosts, so you see this number will accommodate 1020 hosts. So all the bits which are before it, means these bits will be used as, if I just enter a color in them, these bits will be used as the bits for entering the, using for allowing the number of hosts. So if I sum these bits, the sum of these bits will be one less than this number 1024. So you can say the total amount, number of bits, sorry, the total number of hosts which can accommodate by these numbers are 1023. Remember, one number is used for your network ID. The another number, means the last number, will be used for your broadcast address. So for subnet 1, we need, so the first address will be, because we start from 171.71.0.0, so that will be our first address. And how many bits we are going to use? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So these number of bits we are going to use for hosts. Why? Because we need 1020 hosts which needs to accommodate in this. So these bits will be used for accommodating the subnet. So these bits will be subnetting bits. There are 6 bits. So there are 16 bits already here for subnetting, and then we will use 6 more. So basically you can say the total subnetting bit here are, let me copy it again, or you can mention it here only. It will be 22. So 22 means, if I look at this number, this portion, thinking that these are the 8 bits of this octet, just for a second, I'm considering that you can say that these are for your this third octet. So that means we are using 22 bits. So 22 bits we are using out of 16 bit for this purpose. So 8 bits are we are using from here, and 2 bits we are using from here for your forming the total number of hosts, to bring the total number of hosts in the required in the question. Sorry to speak in that way. I was thinking how to make it more clear. So basically, if you see, we are working on these two. So if it's better if I write them in the form of a binary number. So it's 32567.8, and then we have these 8. So what we are doing is that out of these 16 bits, we are using 6 bits of this for subnetting. So basically these bits, the bits which are used for subnetting, will change to 1. So it will be 1, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's why the number here is 22 coming. And these bits are used for your total, these bits are used for your hosts. So if I sum this, so let's take from here, I'll consider these as 8 bits. So it means that one here, one here, one here, one here. I'm using it. This is this table was initially used to show 16 bits of this, but now you can see that these are the bits which we are just need to find the what will be the binary number corresponding to this. So it will be this. So we are using 6-bit out of this octet, or you can say out of this octet. So the number is 128 plus 64 is 192 plus 32 is 224, then 240, 248, and then it's 252. So the subnet we have here is 255.252.0. Now, just taking these off. Now, how to find the last number, or can say the broadcast address of this subnet? So the broadcast address is the last address used by this subnet. Now, so we are using 16 bits. So 8 bits. We are using 10 bits for hosts. So 8 of these and then 2 of this. So what's the number next to it? The number next to it is 1024. And what's the number of this bit? If you think it in respect of 8 bits only, if you think in respect to 8 bits, if you are thinking it in terms of 16 bits, the number of this one is, this 1024 is basically 11th number, but we have to think with respect to these bits only, 8 bits. Let me take them. We are thinking so what's the number corresponding to this bit I'm talking? So if I come start from here, it is 1, this is 2, and then this is 4. So the next subnet address is, if I say the next subnet address, the next subnet for the subnet 2, the first IP address will be 171.1.4.0. So this is your basically a magic number which decide what will be the first IP address of the next subnet, or you can say what will be the network ID of next subnet. So this is 4. So what will be the address of the broadcast for subnet 1? It will be one number less than this. It will be 171.71.3.255. I know that some of you will be a bit confused how this thing is getting on the papers. It's basically, if you think that how many hosts we need to accommodate, 1020. So if I keep this 0 here constant and I keep on changing this number, so this number basically is not only one digit number, it's basically a decimal number of 8 bits. We can change 8 bits, so the maximum value which this number can take is 255. So 0 to 255 means total numbers are 256. Now if I change, I'm just showing it in here, Control C. So it works in that way that you keep 0 constant and you change this to 1 to 0 to 255. Then you change again here, you change this to 1, and then you change 0 to 255. Then you again change this 1 to 2, and you change it to 0 to 255. And then, sorry, it's 171. I deleted it by mistake. Again, you change this to 3 and you change 0 to 255. That's the number of IP address. So if you see, basically 0 is used for ID here in the first one. So there are 255 hosts here. So 256 hosts here. So it's 511. Then 256 again here, and there are 255 again here, because this 255 here is used for broadcast. This will not be used by the hosts. So the number of hosts you can accommodate here are 255 using this 256, 256. So it's 512 and 255 here. So it's 510, 512. So it's 1022 hosts you can accommodate in this one, excluding your broadcast and IP address. So this thing works in this way. So when this will change to 4, and how we know that when it changes to 4 denotes the next subnet? We know it by knowing that because we are using these 2 bits only for the hosts. When you will make this equals to 4, then it means that you are moving to the next subnet. Now you need to have 2 subnet with these. So in a similar way, you will see that there will be 22 bits here. Then you will follow the same thing for this one also. Let me bring the changes in this one. So it will be 4. So then it will be 5. So the next subnet for this one will be, who decide the next subnet? Again the 4. So you have to add 4 in this. We added 4 here. So we come here. What decides the next? Because you are using only 2 subnet bits. These 2 bits for subnetting means the third octet. In this third octet, we are using only 2 bits for hosts, and the remaining we are using for subnetting. So in order to find the last address of this, it will be 8.0. So in a similar pattern, it will be 5. Then it will be 4. Then it will be 5. Then it will be 6, and it will be 7. And why I'm taking 254 here, I can say that this is my broadcast address. So I'll make it 7 also. That's the last usable address in this one. Now we are in the subnet 3. So we know the starting address of the network. Starting address is also the network ID. So we know the starting address of this one. So what we can do is, now we have to create a subnet with 508 hosts. Now 512 can accommodate 508 hosts, 508 hosts. So all the numbers which are on the right of this can be used to accommodate 508 hosts. That means we are going to use these for the host, and we are going to use them for your subnetting bits. So I increase my subnetting bits basically by a number. So the now subnetting bits increase to 3 because we are here. So it's 23 is my subnetting bits. So when you have 23 as subnetting bits, so you can say this thing in your third octet change slightly. So it's now this one. Okay. So what's the magic number now? The magic number now is 2. Earlier it was 4. You see, if I count from this side, it is 1, this is 2, this is 4. Don't look at their number right now, whether it's 1 or 0. I'm counting them like this from here. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 4. The magic number now for me is 2. So the next address out of subnet address, if I have to write before I do the remaining calculation on this one, will be, it is 171. Sorry, I missed 71 here. Let me check if I missed somewhere so that you don't get confused on this. Now if subnet bit, it will be, the next address here will be 10. Why? The magic number is 2. So you will jump from 8 to 10 when you will go to the next. Now you need to decide the subnet mask of subnet 3. So the subnet mask is now for the 3 is, how many bits we are using this for this purpose. So you can see what's the sum of this one. It's 254. So it is 255 dot 255 dot 255. So it's 54.0. That is the subnet mask of it. And what's the broadcast address of this? So broadcast of this is 171.71. We have to use 8 and 9 both. So it will be 9.255. Now what I need to explain now further is how many address you are accommodating here. Just to explain how you are doing it. So it's 8 starting from 0, we change the value to 255. Then you have 9.0. This 0 and hyphen 255 means that you start with the value 0 and you end up with the value 255. So it's 0 to 255. So how many hosts you can accommodate here if I exclude 0, because 0 is the network ID. So when I'm saying network ID, it's usually the ID of the router to which you are connected. And so 255 here, 256 here, so it's 511. But 255 is used for the purpose of broadcast. So that's why that's the broadcast address for subnet 3. Now what we left, we need to create a subnet with host 100 hosts. So we need to change something here also. 100 means you need to add the numbers. 128 can accommodate 100 hosts. So how many, which number we need to add? We need to add these numbers. So how many bits now? Out of total 16. These are the 16 bits. Out of these total bits, how many you are using for the purpose of this hosts? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So basically now you moved from third octet to fourth octet. So you are using for subnetting an extra bit of fourth octet. So how many bits then you have? 24 plus 1, it's 25. And so you are using from here. So that means it's 1 here. And for this already they are 255. So you will, what will the subnet address or subnet mask of this? That will be 255.128. Because now you are adding the subnetting bits, where if it is 1 here also, then the subnet of this fourth octet will be 192. So it will be this. Now what's the broadcast address of this? So how many number of users you need to accommodate is 100. So the broadcast you can see is that according to this will be broadcast 171.70.10.128. Need to accommodate 128 hosts. So the next will be 128, so it will be 127. A number of host it can accommodate, you can say the addresses of the host which it's going to accommodate will be from 0 to 126. So which is fulfilling the condition of 100 hosts. So it's basically you start from 0. Again, I'm saying that 0 is basically your network ID and the remaining are used for the host. So the total address which you are going to use for the purpose of hosts is 126. You can see it from here. And the broadcast address of this will be 127. So in this way, the networking subnetting works. So I might post one or two questions based on this also. Thank you. Have a good day. Stay safe.